This is Abnormal Entertainment.
Welcome to GloryHoundd, the Uninvited Gamers. This is Richard, your editor. I broke this episode up into two different pieces. You should probably go listen to the last one before going on to this one. But either way, enjoy the episode. Thanks. Get back to work.
Get back to your free work.
Your break is over.
You should be paying us.
Get back to talking.
Yes, I'm talking to you.
I pay you in smiles.
Pay me in painting my miniatures.
I could do that. I got a website for that.
Hey, get out of here. You are invited.
So we're back from our break, and we started talking a little bit about painting.
Without you guys, because we're jerks.
Well, we did. And then I was like, oh my God, quickly get on the mics.
I think they can
Intermission
tell that.
wasn't
Yeah.
much of an intermission then, was it?
Well, you can't say that.
It was
on
all-
the
Oh,
show.
sorry, I didn't
They
say
have
that.
to believe
It was-
it was an intermission.
It was all just work the whole
It
time.
was 20 minutes that we sat down and talked to each other, and then we came to the conclusion that we were going to talk about painting and miniatures. So,
It's not written down on our sheet at all.
no,
No,
mm-mm,
not at
no.
This is all by accident.
Just like that questionnaire you sent me. Here's what it's going to be like.
That's right.
But it's all spontaneous.
I'm very prompt. Prompt.
I'm very prompt. I'm like a Prontosaurus. Prontosaurus Rex.
And it continues. So, one question I want to ask is, do you have to paint your miniatures? So if you're going to do a miniature game, do you have to
Oh,
paint your
yeah. I
miniatures?
guess I started a
You- you
firestorm.
Yes. Whoosh, rah,
I'm not
rah.
supposed to talk about it. My buddy Rob said I'm going to be a jerk if I do talk about it. But no, it depends on the group you're with.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the group of guys that I game with, we're paint snobs.
Okay.
We will razz each other, give each other crap if you do not paint your miniature, or at least show that you're painting your miniatures. So
you have to have miniature painting effort. You're like, oh,
yeah.
well,
It's
he's
like-
done at least 2 coats on
he's
there.
got- he's
so
got-
Primer for the win.
yeah.
Yeah. Primer is not a color. But it depends on your group. So for us, when my approach is when I'm putting out a game, especially if I'm demoing a game, I'm going to have it fully painted. I'm going to make it look nice to make it attractive
I have
for
a
somebody
few
to
games
look
for
at.
you to demo. For my own personal collection.
If you've got the money, I've got the time.
No, I just want you to demo them. So I want you to paint them, demo them, and then give
demo.
them back to
Give
me.
them back to you,
That's so
right.
nice.
But no, you don't necessarily have to, and it just depends on where you're at. Good case in point is like when you were talking about Blood Bowl a couple weeks ago. I talked to the owner, and that's not their store
It's not the policy.
because it's not very inclusive to people if you're saying,
Right.
well, you only have to have painted to show up. Well, then nobody's going to show up and play.
Right, because what if you walked in that day and you're like, oh, I played this before. Well, crap, can I just buy this set and play? Like, you wouldn't be able to
I've
without
seen
that.
people buy games off the wall, put them together, boom, and be playing within 30 minutes.
Because sometimes you just don't know. Like,
Yeah.
you might not know that that's going on, or if you've got experience, or you saw them playing it, you demoed it, and you're like, oh, I want to play in this tournament now.
Now, it's kind of like an analogy I use with like a steak. You can go to Walmart and buy a steak, throw it on the grill, throw it on a paper plate, and you're like, hey, I just made a T-bone steak. Or I can go to Morton's, spend a lot of money, pick out the steak I want, they grill it up, and I get this nice, beautiful steak.
So you're calling me Walmart.
The
Walmart, I'm right
of-
with you, man.
I think you can actually do the steak better at your own house, but you
Yeah,
know.
that is true.
But it's that same kind of thing. It's like knowing exactly what you want, knowing what you're doing, and the effort involved, and all that kind of stuff.
I think we're talking more
I
like
prefer
about
somebody to do my
getting what you
steak
put
for
into
me.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
and
That's what I was gonna
it's
say.
for me, for miniature
Well, I'll
painting,
segue
for
there.
me, it's more, that's part of the hobby for me. Not just playing the game.
Yeah,
A
see, I'm
couple-
more game. And then
See,
the
a
miniature's
couple years
always,
ago,
like,
I did a
side.
blog post on my blog that I asked, what kind of miniature gamer are you? Are you a collector, a gamer, or a modeler? And which of those formats do you fit in? I'm more the modeler, collector, gamer. So I love to model, paint, do it, collect them, and then play. If I don't get to the game, it's not a big deal to me because I've painted a miniature, I've got it done, I completed a project.
Oh,
I've
interesting.
got friends of ours. The guy I was talking to who bailed out on the Napoleonic project, he's a collector. He spends all his effort and time trying to find that one thing.
Right, always those.
He'll then come to me to
rare
paint
one.
it, and then he turns around and sells it, and he never plays with it.
Oh my God.
So for him, it's about hunting it down and finding it. So I think most miniature gamers are in one of those three categories.
Okay.
So for me, I'm always going to paint my miniatures. God knows I have a closet full that are unpainted, waiting to be painted. But it really just comes down to your personality.
You didn't bring up hoarder though, because I collect them and then I hoard them, and even if I don't play them, I still have.
If
games
it's
that, I don't
organized
even
in
like.
the closet that you can find it, it's not called hoarding.
Well, I still have.
Oh, there you go.
It's
I'm
getting
going to
a-
use that.
I'm just gonna
That's the way
say.
I look at it.
I'm gonna say our shelves are getting a little hoardy then.
Wow.
High functioning
I have
hoarder.
yeah.
I will
I
tell
can
you,
find them.
my
The
buddy-
system
Our
is-
bit
it's in a
boxes are
stack.
coming in.
You have to like weave between the piles in the living room. That's hoarding.
a buddy of
Quite that
mine,
bad. The piles are in the kitchen.
a buddy of mine, DeGreenskins on Twitter.
Yeah.
You go into his game room and you'll open up a drawer like in the hallway, and it's just crammed full of miniatures.
Is it really?
His wife doesn't even know that they're there. Sorry, Mike. She's going to find out now.
No, she's not. But that's,
Yeah, right.
We don't actually have listeners.
Yeah, well,
I'm not even sure if this is actually being aired.
that works. So to answer your question, no, you don't have to paint.
Okay.
It just really comes down to whether you want. If you're playing in a league like a store league, they might have paint requirements that say, hey, you have to have a fully painted. I've run events where I said you have to have a fully painted army for the event.
Right.
Generally, those are usually big 2-day events that I've run, like grand tournament style.
Right.
Where
They're
you
not
have
your
to show-
everyday event. They're usually special events
And
that are
it's-
happening.
And painting is
That you
very
can prepare
subjective
for.
because, like I said, I don't think I'm the best painter.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would agree with that. I'm probably better.
my buddy Jeff at Imperial Outpost thinks I paint better than he does. And I look at his stuff in the cabinet and I'm like, dude, I can never get to that level that you're at. And he looks at mine and he says the same thing.
You guys should paint.
You're
each other's
always
stuff.
your worst critic.
you
Yeah,
are.
you're always your
Well,
worst
'cause you
critic.
find like
when
every little
you do
spot,
anything.
you're like,
yeah.
oh look, I left a little bit of gray
Especially,
right there.
especially with
Son of
digital
a-
photography, when you zoom in on it and you go, oh man, that looks like crap.
Zoom out, blur.
Don't let that picture get
So,
resized.
is it okay to have someone else paint it, or are you going to be judged for that?
Depending on the tournament or event you're at, they will have requirements about that. When I used to run some certain game events, first question I asked, did you paint your army? So if you're playing in an event where you're getting judged for your painting or your painted army, that's very important. I've got customers that will tell me, do not put pictures of this up on the internet.
Oh,
So
really?
that tells me right there that when they go to whatever event they go to,
They're
Yeah.
going to take credit.
they're going to take credit for it.
When they ask them, they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go
Yeah.
into details."
But
It's,
I totally painted
but
that.
see, that's
That's a hell of a compliment, though, that they're going to pass your stuff off as their best work.
And I've seen pictures of the stuff show up in some magazines where I'm like,
Oh, really? You're
I
all
know
hell
who that
no.
is.
nice.
But I got the cash for it, so it's
Wow.
But,
Okay.
but that's fair enough. It's just like, Magic. If you were the deck designer or something like that, like
Right.
giving credit to where credit's due and not trying to take credit for other people's work. I think that's fair. But so you're saying it's okay as long as you give the credit to someone else and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I totally didn't paint this. I didn't really want to do it."
if somebody shows up to my house to game or a game that I'm playing and it's not an event or anything and says, "Hey, I didn't paint this," I don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm here to play.
I don't think it should matter. I mean, if you're being if that's part of the competition,
yeah.
then yes, it matters.
But if it's like
Right.
like tonight showing up here to play,
Right.
dude, it wouldn't matter.
Okay, so the majority of time when you're playing, the painting is not necessarily a huge aspect of it. But if you're going to go to an event,
Right.
then it is possibly important, and you need
it
to check
is.
for requirements.
Yeah, a good case in point, like some of the events that are being run at Adepticon in 2 weeks in Chicago.
Right.
My buddy Jeremy Williams, who's running the event, he has in there, you must have a fully painted army. Mm-hmm. You are going to be judged on it. And if you did not paint it, you have to notify us because that's going to take off points for this event. It's a 2-day event where
Oh, wow.
points for painting, sportsmanship, and your play are all in effect. So that could be...
You'll be on your best behavior. You
Yeah.
can't be like,
You can't be the jerk.
Dr. GloryHoundd can't go.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But isn't Adepticon kind of the big deal for the miniature painting world?
It is, especially now that they have the...
Are there a lot of
the cool
miniatures
brush
groupies?
or whatever.
Do they have a lot of mahogany there? They're a big deal.
There's so much wood up in that joint. I mean,
There's a lot of stank up in that joint when you walk in the main game hall. I'll tell you that.
I didn't have I didn't have time to shower. I had to
Yeah.
put this base coat on.
And it's fun because I've been going to Adepticon probably I won't be going this year. I've been going for about 7 years. I've run events for them out there in Chicago, and it is primarily a miniature game. Hank Edley, one of the guys that runs Adepticon, has been trying to do a bigger push for board games and card games now, especially with a lot of companies like Cool Mini or not being there. Like I said earlier,
yeah.
do you look at Zombicide as a miniature game or is it a board game?
They can branch off, get
why
new
not
people.
both?
Yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
X-Wing, they have a big X-Wing event
Yeah.
there.
You can
Is
get
that a
new
miniature
people
game?
into
Yeah.
miniatures, I mean.
They're probably going to bust at least 3,500 people attendees this year.
That's good.
Easy.
Nice.
But it's been 15 years now they've been going, so.
Well, if they want more board games there, we are willing to demo. They just have to fly us out there.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well-
isn't that where the
They'll fly
is
her
that
out,
the
not
crystal
me.
paintbrush?
Crystal brush, yeah.
Crystal
And
brush.
let me tell you, you think my painting's good. You go there, I'm afraid to even put stuff in the cabinet there. Some of that stuff, you've got painters that are spending a year working on one miniature to put in that case.
Oh, my God.
When you got a
see that.
$10,000 prize, cash, and a nice, cool little, crystal brush trophy. Yeah, if I had the time to spend 365 days a year painting like that, I'd do it. But
Well, I ran into a situation where I had just painted for the first time in like a really, really long time, and it was probably like my third figure ever. And so I painted them, and so I was like, yeah, I got on Twitter, and I was like, Cool Mini or not? And I was like, check out these, Arcadia Quest guys. And then within like 10 minutes, some like professional, and I say professional because not only did he have them done, but he had like snow effects, like actual snow falling down. So not only was he a painter, he was also a photographer. And so they posted and they retweeted his stuff and not mine. I'm like, well, yeah, duh. Look at this guy's crap. I don't have snow falling. I don't have like the Ghibli like pets painted too and like highlight. It was crazy difference between the two of us.
see, one of my idols is Shepard Payne, who was back in the 70s, was a military modeler doing dioramas. And he did I grew up, seeing all his books with all his pictures and things and wanting to be, painting and doing things like that. And there are some guys that, he would work on one diorama a year, a model diorama for a year, and that was it, and then crank them out.
Miniatures and miniature painting is pretty much like doll houses for girls. Like, it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because a girl will take a dollhouse.
What's wrong with
Now,
dollhouses?
all the
Nothing
guys
wrong
are
with
gonna
dollhouses.
get mad at me now here.
No,
I go to dollhouse tournaments
A girl, there are dollhouse tournaments. People do that shit.
Right, you
Okay.
make my
Dude, look at my
stepmom's
lacy
favorite.
And
curtains.
you put your lacy curtains
Yeah,
and
she
shit
did.
in there, and you put your
My
little
s-
beds with your tiny little pillows and your tiny little
Some of
clothes
those,
with
yeah.
tiny
So my
little buttons.
stepmom does that.
like-
It's like you make a specific room or the whole
Same,
house,
yeah.
and then she'll paint like the pictures, like
Yeah.
So she'll recreate like artwork but paint it in miniature form and then put it up there. She's like, oh, that's a little tiny ass Mona Lisa.
There's a lot of people that do that. They cross over back and forth to different hobbies
between
and things.
so miniatures as in
Transitioning.
miniatures as a whole.
Yeah. And including dollhouses.
That's right.
I have looked
If you
at the dollhouse
pay, I will
stuff
paint it.
for
Have
finding-
you?
I have.
Right,
going,
for
hey, well,
getting
does
stuff,
this work?
right?
Yeah.
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 So, see?
Not often. But
You are a brush for hire, so you're willing to paint. You're like paint bodies, paint miniatures, paint dolls, whatever.
I've painted cake toppers. I did do a zombie cake topper for.
that's very cool.
You need to get into
There you
body
go.
painting because apparently that's a thing. That
That's
you
the
can
thing
do,
to
and
do.
That's,
There you go.
Yeah, no. The wife would-
Live action
the wife
miniature.
would not be happy. Yeah. That's the
Live-
perfect thing to call it right there.
live action miniature in large scale.
Bigatures. We only do bigatures here.
So, if somebody wanted to get into painting, how would they start?
Probably paintbrushes and paint, right?
Well, once again, go to your local store.
Okay.
Your store will suggest paintbrushes and paints, and depending on what level you are at painting. My setup has been, in miniature painting, there's snobs in the miniature painting world.
Of course.
A lot of
Shocking.
people are going to be upset with me saying this.
There's elitism in every
There
sport
is.
Yeah.
or hobby.
Yeah.
A lot of people look down to craft paints.
Okay.
Americana paints, I love from Michaels.
Oh, really?
40% off discount.
Well, there you go.
You'll find me in there. The pigment is really good. It's $1.79 or less, depending on the sale. But the paints are thicker. But I know how to water down the paints to have them thin down.
And you have medium. I'm assuming
Yeah.
you're adding
You can use
medium instead of just water.
retarders and things like that to slow the
because
drying process down.
that's the difference between those craft paints and like some of the better quote unquote paints.
yeah.
Better quotation marks paints.
And once again, I started with the old Testors model brushes that were really thick brushes back in the day.
Those
And
brushes
then
are-
I use those.
I
too.
almost brought one of my first miniatures I painted. I dug it
Did you?
out of with
That would've been
Testors
awesome.
enamels paint, and I was like, I can't even bring this. This is horrid.
Like,
I
it's
should
so
throw it
sad.
out.
I had
You
this
could have
same
just
stuff.
said like my son painted this.
Yeah, there you go.
I
There
have too
you
much
go.
integrity for that one. But
Join us on the dark side.
I went to Michael's and picked out like a double aught brush, and after like 3 or 4 uses, it just frays all over the place, and I have to go back again. I finally, probably the last 6-7 years, I went to the Winsor Newton brushes.
Okay.
$25 a brush.
Ouch.
They've got those. I think they've got those up on the counter, right?
Yeah.
The $80 brush
Yeah.
that's over there.
Yeah, locked up under a case.
No, it's out in the open.
That's lucky. I might have to stop over there and see my finger discount. But yeah, that's if you're really seriously into it. You can spend a lot of money on paint and things.
Well,
but
even just at a starter level, because I remember one of the things that held me off is I was looking at all the different paints from, I think it's Warhammer, the ones they do.
yeah, the GW, the Citadel paints.
Yes, the Citadel
Yeah.
paints, and they're expensive. And so even like the spray paints and stuff. And so luckily I was around the time when Army Painter started coming out with stuff, and I was like, oh, I can actually afford Army Painter stuff. So I started getting Army Painter stuff, and I've actually enjoyed it and liked it. But like I still every once in a while I see something like in the Citadel that I like, and I'm like, I'm paying like an extra $1 more for this.
and that's there's a big move. Reaper has a line of paints out that are really well that are formulated. I don't know what's in them. Magic, I think, is what's in them to make them stick to those bones material, because that bones material just mystifies me.
Primer. They say you don't have to prime those.
Oh, dude.
Prime the shit out of them.
Dude, I've primed them and then they're sticky, and I'm like, what the heck is this crap? And I'm doing a bunch of cav models for Reaper right now.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm fighting through that. But GW paints, but going and getting that $1.79 paint from Michael's, and you just have water, and it's just practice. It's time behind the brush. People always ask me, how long did it take you to get this good? And
13 minutes.
How long
Guess
have
I
I
was
been
born
painting?
with it.
really, painting miniatures is all about brush control. Is all, and going back and fixing your mistakes.
Right.
That's really all it is.
Well, I found for me, like, I don't have very steady hands at all, which is weird for being a doctor. So what I do is I do all
You need
the.
to get your drink to get your
I have
steady
to.
hands.
I have to do I use the smallest ones I can. So I was using what is it? The Psycho.
Yeah.
Psycho from Army Painter. So I'm using that little kind of brush and real short tip and everything. And as I'm painting, I do fine. And then I get to the face and I get to like the eyes and stuff, and I'm like, okay, here you go.
Don't paint eyes.
Every time I try to do them, I just jack them up. She can do them. She's steady. I can't do
See,
it.
on a standard
Kills
25
me.
millimeter.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
miniature,
yeah.
We're talking. The
I don't paint
cheese.
eyes.
Yeah.
The one thing I do is I cheat. I use a micron, like .005 pen.
Well, that's
Oh, okay,
just
yeah.
bam,
and just boom.
that dot, and
Yep.
I'm done.
That's fantastic.
Dot.
I've picked up one of those tiny pens for
Well-
the irises. That's,
Yeah, because
yeah,
25 minutes, you're talking a model that's what, an inch and a half tall.
Yeah.
maybe.
Dude, if I go stand across to the other side of the room, you're going to be able to tell the color of my eyes.
No.
And I'm not an inch and a half tall looking from there. So
Right.
I see a lot of googly eyes on miniatures that people paint that you're like, wow, I can see the whites of his eyes from across the table. Yeah, what the heck?
Well, if somebody's interested in learning technique, is there a certain site that you would say, hey, go to this site, and it's a good place to start?
SoWorldPaint.com. Asked him to
Well, there you
paint
go.
your stuff. No,
Are there like good like YouTube? Like
there's a lot of there's a guy out of Brookhurst Hobbies out in California called Dr. Faust.
Yep,
who
he's
has
good.
a YouTube channel.
Dr.
He is-
GloryHoundd must know him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both doctors.
Dude,
So.
he is
He might actually be a doctor.
phenomenal.
We smoke cigars at the cigar room.
Yeah. He's phenomenal. I would go there.
Dr. Faust.
Dr. Faust Paint Clinic.
Okay.
He's got free videos that he
Free
goes
videos
over
for sale.
different. Well, they're not for sale; they're all on YouTube.
Oh.
But there are a lot of a lot of painters that here's what happens: you enter something, you win an award, Golden Brush, Golden Demon, whatever it is. Then they suddenly think, well, I can do a DVD and charge like $50 for this DVD so
Oh
people
my
can learn how
God.
to paint.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. There's a couple painters that I won't name that are online that do that. because they've won an award, they're a Golden Demon painter now, I can charge X amount of money for my paint jobs and teaching people how to paint. I don't think, dude, it's a hobby. It's, to me, it's something that you should be sharing with
So
everybody.
you agree more with spreading the love of like showing people to get more people into it, because you're always looking for more people, right?
Right, because it's an artistic thing.
Yeah.
So,
and I was just going to say that, like, although you can teach somebody like techniques, everybody's going to paint differently, and just like, for example, for me, whenever I realized that I could rest my hand on my own hand and then paint, and that made my painting incredibly steady, and it improved my work a ton.
I refuse to do it.
Just having little gems
Can't rest
like
your
that.
hand on her hand, I'm sure.
No, I like the shaky
How long
hand.
you been married?
So
Wow.
we don't hold
We
hands.
can't touch.
That's
we
weird.
Can't touch.
He's also a never nude. So.
I got some jorts on right now.
But
pair.
having just a little like thing like that, and then going on your own tangent with it, like doing your own thing with it, because I mean it's an art.
I like
It
to
is.
paint with my
I mean,
mouth.
Because I like my style, I paint
It's
in
a
a very
creative thing.
My style is a very muted, darker scheme. I use like a black primer undercoat on everything that I do. So a lot of people use white. I use black, and I get so my colors are a little bit more muted, a little bit more realistic, because I paint a lot of historical stuff. So, that's my style. There's other types of styles. Steve Dean painting is a guy out of the UK who's really good, that has some tutorials and things online.
My
that he
style's
has.
fast.
Well, dude, I'm fast too. I can crank out quite a
Well,
bit.
so we were painting over one of the weekends, and so I was painting, and we weren't painting at the exact same times due to other scheduling conflicts, but so we're painting and everything, and I'm like done with one, and she's like, okay, I've got the face done on this one. I'm like, what the crap? I'm like, we're never getting through these
Whose looked
miniatures.
better?
Overall, hers did, but I had 4 cool-looking ones, and she's got 2 good-looking ones.
I have 3.
Well, I
Quality
have
over
more
quantity,
than that now.
baby.
Well, not always.
That's all I'm saying.
Sometimes you get as much as you can when you can. Yeah.
It's about being young then. All right.
like
Forever.
like any art, I think getting some feedback is good,
Right.
but you kind of have to
Notice me, senpai.
So yes, notice me, senpai. But you have to kind of. There's a lot of Care Bears, as they're called out there, where they'll just say, "Oh, that looks great,"
Oh,
because
I was like, what the hell are we talking about?
No,
right
no,
now?
well,
Okay,
so-
that makes sense.
Care Bear
I know. That's where my mind went to.
I went to like furries and stuff. I'm like, are we talking about like
God,
gay
why-
guys
we're
or
not always
something?
on furries. God damn it.
Sorry.
Wow. Those are like 7 different things you were talking about.
I almost have enough money to get my first furry costume. Okay? It's quite cost prohibitive.
Next Comic-Con.
Oh, Lord, what did I
Comic-Con.
get myself into?
oh, the smell of that costume after Phoenix Comic Con. Ooh.
You see
Anyway,
a dog and a pig, it's us.
Yeah.
It's not us. Do not approach.
No.
Do not
No.
approach.
So in critiquing in most art, there's and this is particularly in miniatures where people, you break their heart if you tell them the truth. But I also think that if you ask for feedback, you should be willing to get all of the
All the
feedback.
feedback.
I just want
But-
nice feedback, though.
There are
There's
people
a
like
thing
that.
called tact.
There is.
Yes.
You know, you
There
You don't
is.
have to break their souls.
Right, you don't have to be blunt and be like, okay, get the shit out of my face.
Oh,
This
that
looks like an ass.
oh, it looks like. So when did your dog swallow and shit it out? Okay, that's what it looks like. A pile of dog shit. Leave
So-
my store.
No, you want honest critiquing,
Wow.
because how are you going to get better if you don't?
Yeah, if
Right.
it just looks great all the time, you don't know. But like,
Do not honestly critique me in bed. Continue. I don't want to get better. I just want to keep thinking I'm the best.
Okay.
so when you ask for feedback, say how long you've been painting, and generally people give you enough
Exactly.
feedback.
13 minutes on this figure. Go.
No, I meant in general.
okay.
Like how long you've been painting. Can you help me go further? That's I think that the best
And
advice I've
that's
ever
something
heard.
like a good
You
case in
are
point.
the wind
I ran
beneath
a
my wings.
I ran a bolt action tournament a couple years ago,
Bolt action.
and I had 4 guys that were up for best painted, and I went up to each one of them because we kind of judged it and looked at it and said, okay, these are the 4, and then we narrowed it down to who was the best one. And I went around and then explained to the other, all 4 of them, and said, okay, this is what we liked, this is what we saw, This is what you could work on better. Because they were at such a higher level, they wanted to know, what can I do to be the guy to win? What would put me over the edge?
Usually it's money. Just give me money.
Well, sometimes, yeah. But they honestly
I
wanted
profit
to
over
know.
their hand jobs. Yeah.
Downhill skiing.
So you give two people a hand job at the same time.
That's how we take care of
Thanks for
werewolves.
explaining the old joke.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow. All right. But yeah, getting that critique is the first question I would ask, how long have you been painting, and what do you want help with, or what are you looking to hear?
So
Because I'll be blunt and honest with you.
I would just be like,
Richard
I've
does
been-
have a mini.
He does have a mini here.
So
Yes.
I want the unvarnished truth. Okay, then I will tell you how long I've been painting. It's a
You're going to go the
reverse-
opposite
You
of
wanna
what
do
you
it
just
in
talked about.
reverse?
because I think
Yeah.
it's funnier this
Yeah.
way. So
Okay.
so this is a Reaper
Okay.
Mini.
so
I
feel
didn't
free
bring
to
my glasses.
feel free to kill
Well,
him.
Well, that's good for me.
So, all right. From here, without my glasses, it looks fine.
He's across the room.
Now
And
it's
by
arm length
fine, I
away.
mean-
It's 36 inches
Yeah.
away from my
Right.
face.
He's outside in his car.
Oh, well, I guess this might not be a good bit then.
No,
Can,
overall,
can you actually be a blind miniature painter? Because apparently you are.
Well,
and I'm
because you have
amazed
like
by that.
glasses and stuff
my
that you can
glasses.
have.
And
on
magnifying,
yeah.
magnifying.
How did you drive here?
You get the headset.
You
Braille.
drove like 40 minutes.
You can see fine far away. Jesus.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
I don't know how eyes
Doctor
work.
are you?
Yeah,
Not
I
an
know.
I'm not an
optometrist.
You got to see
optometrist.
an anatomy, so.
No, overall, looking at this figure, I think it looks really well done.
My joke.
I'm not hip on the OS lighting effect you did on the face.
Yeah. What? I mean, is
Color-wise,
it bad or
blended-wise?
is it?
No, I would say this is a very good miniature.
No, I meant like the OSL.
The
like
OSL on there,
What the hell is OSL lighting?
is it
On
object
s-
source lighting?
Yeah.
Object
Okay.
source. So what he's trying to represent is this.
Is it? It's glowing
The
on
flames
his
is
face.
glowing on
Okay.
the face. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so-
something. And here's what I will tell you on this is that OSL kind of painting style like that, object light source or whatever it is, only looks good from one angle.
Yeah.
On a
that's
game
true.
miniature where you're moving it around the table, it'll kind of look funky. That's why it looks funny. Now, if you gave it to me on a base, that was
a diorama.
a diorama
that's
kind of base,
yeah.
I could go, okay, it looks better. But I generally don't paint with that.
Right.
So
Oh, this
on
is
a,
so cute.
on a scale of one,
Well, I'll explain.
Just what everyone man wants to hear.
scale of
Don't
one
you
to
love when
10.
a woman puts it in her hand and says,
Oh, pequeño, so
small
small.
and cute.
love this.
Bebecito. Very cute.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
cute.
I'd probably give that about a 7.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
10
And-
being the best.
right, of
obviously.
course. Obviously, I knew
I
I
could've
was
went the other way,
I
but,
would
you
have
know.
gone. Yeah. Obviously, I can see all the flaws.
If you think
but-
that miniature's
'cause-
cute, hold on. Let me take you to the bathroom.
So I've been painting again for about 6 months. So August or so is when I started again.
How long previous to that?
Well, I hadn't painted for probably 12, 13 years. So,
Okay.
like, that was when my first attempt at 40K, and I didn't do too well at that, and it kind of, I was trying to
shows.
paint orcs at,
Oh, dude, orcs are the easiest. Come on.
well,
That's
they would be
green, whatever other color you want to throw on.
Orcs are
the orkiest.
The humies.
Well, it was just like I was too scatterbrained at the time. I picked up painting
Were
again.
you
because
high, Richard?
I have never been high.
I can tell.
Thank you.
It's getting so personal.
Well, okay.
Very
so
blunt or not blunt.
so this is a miniature. This is my buddy's playing in an all dwarf game.
But that's not a dwarf.
Well, hold on. Let me explain.
But wait, there's more.
I was like, hold on. This is our dwarf like aficionado. Is I profit over here? He's like, wait a minute.
iProfit
Oh,
Black Hole
dwarf.
Zone.
Oh, dwarf.
So he's playing in a Pathfinder game, and he hates dwarves, but he has to play a dwarf. So he described his character as a very young-looking, non-bearded dwarf.
So not a dwarf then.
So this,
"Oh, a baby" or something. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm not even sure then.
An elf? I don't. What is that?
so this is a gnome. I think it's a gnomish sorcerer from Reaper,
Okay.
and he's a summoner. So I did the Asharlon or whatever.
I say we
as
just
well,
go to this
but-
guy's
I have
house
a lot
and
of
kick his ass for
backstory.
not
See,
liking
I feel like one of the
dwarves.
judges
judges on Face Off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like Glenn.
Anyway,
you could have done better.
yeah,
Yeah,
No,
there you
but
go.
I really appreciate that, and I've been taking a lot of advice from. There's there's my buddy does.
We
a
should do this like
podcast.
Skin Wars because then we get Rebecca Romaine to come.
Well, there you go.
And she
Yeah.
doesn't. She just
There
goes,
you go.
I like it or I didn't. She doesn't really give a lot of critiquing, but she's just there to announce like who's going up next. That's what we need on this show.
That's you.
But I sculpt.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
Well, I am
sculpted
wearing
the
a
base,
onesie.
so
Right.
that's why.
No, it's a very good. It's a very good miniature. I mean, it looks good. It's, here's the question: do you like it?
I do like it.
Do you see the flaws in it?
I do. I would have liked the spell effect to be a little brighter,
Okay.
and I would have. Other than that, like I see the OSL. It's it's a little when. Like everything, when you do digital photography of anything,
You see the flaws.
you super see the flaws.
Well, you're
And I'm
definitely
also-
going to have to post this so we can see.
Well,
everyone
I
can see
have-
it.
And then everybody go, dude, that Tim guy sucks. That ain't no 7.
I would, yeah.
He didn't have his glasses, no wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Once they see it, yeah, that'll be great. I'll tag you on.
Yeah. We'll have
He's like, oh, good. I don't regret this decision at all.
We'll put it on our Instagram
So you can,
and everything.
You will be
can
forever
always
judged by
re-update-
this.
You can always re-update your rating once you see it.
There you go.
The people who run
Oh,
the crystal
yeah.
brush are going to be like, oh, we wanted you to what the fuck is this? Sorry, Timmy, you're out.
So, yeah, I've been taking a lot of advice from my buddy who runs this podcast called the Models Workshop After Hours, and they're kind of like
I think that's
us.
the podcast you were supposed to be on. I'm
No,
sorry.
well,
Yeah.
but they're kind of like us, but they talk about modeling and painting. So they're a
A
little
lot of
dirty.
boring talk then.
Well,
I'm scared if there's somebody, if there's another
the
group
pull-
like us running
brush.
around. What if we see
Oh my
them?
God! What if we met them?
well,
The
actually, I think they're.
Oh.
They don't have
Nexus.
goatees.
It's a nexus
No,
of the
when
universe.
we meet them, there's like one
oh my
guy
God.
there that
it would
really
be like one guy and they're
Whoa.
all girls.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there'd be like one girl there that really likes elves, and that's all she wants to talk about is elves and not beards. Just saying. I'm referencing you. I profit. You seem confused.
I got that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Actually,
All right. Well,
I missed.
But no, very good model.
we do
Thank
have
you.
Very good
we
painting.
do have one final thing to do before we go, and that is to play Super Fight. Have you ever
I
played
thought
Super
we were
Fight
just going to
before?
roll him for his cash.
That's later in the
Dude,
parking
this
lot.
driver carries no cash. I'm a married man.
Fair enough.
Have you ever played Super Fight before?
No.
Has anybody
basically
at
where
this
I punch
table
you in
ever
the
played
face.
Super
I know
Fight
the
before?
premise, but
Here's the thing. You better knock me down, and you better hope I don't get back up. That's all I'm saying.
Sounds
You're
good.
a dead man.
All right. Somebody mix up these cards here.
No.
Do it. Somebody mix up these cards here.
Just throw them up in the air. Isn't that how you-
Do they need to be mixed? We've never even played this. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
We played it.
they need to be mixed.
Jesus.
It looks
Oh,
like
there you go.
Cards Against Humanity.
Very
or
nice.
Black and white cards like that.
It is kind of, it's Cards Against Humanity-esque, like, every other
Light. That's what we
card
use
game.
for everything
That's right.
now.
It's like Cards Against Humanity
light.
Light.
This is like an iPhone 5 Lite.
See, my extent of card games
Oh my
is
God.
bang.
That's enough.
That's about it.
Okay, that's a
Because
good
we
one.
like sitting
I
around
that
drinking
one.
and saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm going to bang your wife now." Bam!
I can see why
Everybody-
that'd be a thing.
It's
Everybody
yeah.
gets 3 white
They have to have
cards and 3
good-looking
black
wives,
cards.
but yes.
It's weird when they got their kids there at the table.
And I will be the judge.
That happens actually a lot whenever I game over at iProphet's house. Because his daughter's old enough to play, but still not old enough to probably be near me. So it's always really awkward when I make comments, and she's like,
My ears
those
are
are my
burning.
parents. I'm dying.
No, I'm judging, so I don't need cards, but 3 white, 3 black cards. What you're going to do is you're going to make a person to fight with by choosing one of the white cards and one of the black cards, okay?
Okay.
Once you have...
So what you're saying is that everything's better when we work together, whites and blacks.
you guys are going to be fighting each other.
Can't we all just
Oh.
get along?
So once you've chosen your white card...
I was thinking Michael Jackson. I was like,
Yeah. I already found that you're the judge.
And I'm the judge.
This is done. I
Okay.
already got this.
So once you have chosen your white card and your black card, everybody's going to flip them over, and then we're going to get a random, like another random black card put on everybody's stuff. And then we're going to argue why everybody's monster should win in this
So we
fight.
need a white and a black.
So,
White and a black.
Why do I have the promo card then?
Well, then here, take another one.
The card that gives you the
There you
Go to
rules.
the expansion.
the Joker card. Sorry,
You can't make that work for you? Use your imagination.
Dude, I think it just said just grab the deck and pick out what
Well,
you
there you
want.
go.
I don't know.
This was the cheat card here. I'm sure this is like...
This is like a lot of deliberation here. I have 6 choices, an infinite possibility.
Anybody?
It's like chess.
Discards. Hand me discards.
I always give
changing
you all
my
my
card.
discarded stuff.
Discards.
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 Can I hand
Take
you?
your time.
Can I
Take your
hand you
time.
Abyss card.
The miniature gamer's taking.
We're all
forever.
going to judge you off of this later on.
He
so.
can't even
Dude, where's
read
the
cards.
miniature? Not that blind, man. Hello.
Miniatures or meeples for this game, guys? No.
Oh, this definitely needs miniatures.
Miniatures
right
for
here.
sure.
Yeah, they
All
can
right.
make miniatures that do all these things.
There's your extra black card.
Okay.
There's your extra. And that is attached to your character.
It's an
as
extra
well.
super bonus power, I guess. I don't remember how the game works.
Boom.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I win. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Whenever, like, I know, like, the real life stuff she likes, but then whenever we play games, she just automatically goes, I can't pick him. We're married to him. I already picked him once, and then I never win.
Well, you won in life. Ooh,
Can you say that about yourself?
Wow. You married
About
me.
yourself.
You can.
You won
I can
in
say whatever
life.
the hell I want about myself. All
Yikes.
right, so everybody,
Actually,
go ahead and reveal your monster one by one. We'll start with Richard.
I am a sloth.
okay.
That's it.
Well,
Well, what
I
type of sloth are you?
I'm a sloth with an invisibility cloak.
Oh.
So you're slow and invisible.
And
That's
invisible.
right. But I'm armed with a long electric whip.
Okay.
That's a
slow-
cosplay right there.
So basically what you are static electricity. Because I never see you. I can't see you. You're slow, and every once in a while I just get a shock. Like, ow, what the fuck? So you just made static electricity as a monster.
right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I Prophet.
I am Miley Cyrus, and I control an army of flying monkeys.
I
and
can-
I'm
I know
coming
it-
at you like a wrecking
Oh my
ball.
god.
We definitely-
And I can take the
Oh
form
my
of
God.
anything water-based.
What?
Anything.
Oh, you're a
Like
wonder
Astro
twin.
Loop?
Like Jello?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me turn into Astro Loop.
I will be in you. And then flying monkeys will fly out of your butt.
On a side note, I do think her dad listens to this show, so be kind.
So far,
Don't
iProfit
take
is
my
I see a
Don't talk about my
strong
daughter.
one over at iProfit's table over here. So Tim, what do you have?
I'm Conan
Okay.
that has tiny T-Rex arms
He does have a tiny sword.
that has the bottom half is play another character card from the deck.
Okay, hold on.
The bottom half of our
bottom half
T-Rex
is
Conan
The white
is...
cards. White cards.
White card?
Oh, so it's Conan and the Statue of Liberty
So you're just...
with tiny arms,
So you're,
T-Rex arms.
so you're a kilted Conan with tiny arms, which is probably one of his big selling points.
That might be, yeah.
Oh my god. How yeah.
How did this happen?
I
Why are
don't
we
know.
here?
Well,
Are you ready? Are you ready to
okay,
be amazed?
I'm ready.
Because I'm
This
a
better be good.
motherfucking cat.
Hells
Oh,
yes.
yeah. And I shoot glitter. Wait, no, I'm a cat.
Oh.
That is drunk that shoots glitter.
God damn it, he's
I think
glitter.
I think
What? Come on.
it's a monster
Okay,
that...
okay,
Hold
hold on.
First off, she
Hold on.
is that monster.
Like that?
I just described her. So she is this monster. She is a drunk
Okay,
cat that
so-
shoots glitter out of various orifices.
Everybody has a moment to argue why their particular monster would beat all the other monsters.
Okay, so the reason I think I would win is because my sloth would basically only get to the fight after the whatever victory won. Whoever won the fight, supposedly, I get there and shock the shit out of them.
Okay.
And it takes a really long time to let go of the button on the whip.
Okay.
So they're going to get shocked for a really long time. So
Okay, I could see
enough.
that. I could see that.
Why do you think you'd win, Miley Cyrus, Astro Lube Girl?
Just numbers alone. And,
Oh, that's true. You'd have an army of flying monkeys.
and versatility. I can just be anything water-based.
Like an ice cube, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know. What else could you be?
Yeah,
a glass
and then I
of
can
water?
drip it in your
Bucket
mouth
of
like
water.
Ice Cube.
I could be water
glass
with
of
like
water.
some Gatorade in it. Yeah. So you could be
Slip and
Gatorade.
slide. Come on.
Yeah.
You can't be a slip and slide. You can
No.
be the water on it.
Yeah, I'll be the water on. You'll be the slide. I'll be the water.
Wow.
Whoa. Hey, Sailor.
Well then,
Good day, sir. You had me at
Tim.
slip.
Well, I think I'm going to win just because, I happened to watch Planet of the Apes
Okay.
with the Statue of Liberty at the end. That was the only thing really alive.
Okay.
So obviously,
Impenetrable skin.
No, it's just you haven't seen Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I've seen it.
With
At
Charlton
the-
Heston's
at the end.
"Damn you,
Damn you, dirty apes!
I'm like all tied up.
so the statue's still going to be there, and just because it has tiny, T-Rex arms,
Tiny
that's a
T-Rex
plus.
arms?
I don't know. I'm
How-
grasping. I'm grasping. I can't make this work.
Those tiny T-Rex arms
you
just really
think of-
screwed you.
This is just blows.
Can you think of
The best thing of Conan, and then they're like, and tiny arms. Tiny arms.
Can you think of any animal that kills more than cats?
That's true.
You can't because they're
Sloths.
always killing.
Viruses.
Sloth.
My
They're not
monkeys have
animals.
viruses.
They're not. Wait,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
You don't have outbreak
Oh.
monkeys. You have astroloop monkeys.
Outbreak monkeys.
No. I have 12 angry monkeys.
With Astroloop.
Yeah, with that.
So you not only. God, stop, please.
Wow, that was
I
loud.
really hope that oh, man.
blew it.
I think you just broke our mixer. There goes $10. Thanks. So not only are they killing machines,
Okay.
but what gives zero fucks as a cat? What about a drunk cat? So this is a zero fucks giving murdering machine that after it's done killing you, just fucking shoots glitter all over you. Like, welcome to the show.
Have you
Welcome
seen
to
a
the
cat
show.
with
the
catnip? It's just
after-
going to like lay there and just kind of
That's
spurt
the
out
after
glitter.
effect.
Every
Yeah.
time my cat gets drunk, it gets real mean.
And then
Well,
squirts
that's 'cause
glitter
you
out on
probably-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calls it glitter,
Yeah.
air quotes.
What type of cat are we talking about here? Hold on.
It could be any kind of cat. What type of cat do you like? Is it a Russian blue? It's a Russian blue mixed with a tiger. So it's a humongous version of our own cat. But it's huge. And it likes to be cuddled at night.
I was going another way
Let
with
me
that.
describe the scene currently. So
I'm, like, leaning in.
GloryHounnd is like leaning against the table more and more as Dr. GloryHounnd is like
He's like
moving-
Reaching in.
closer.
Get a peek into our
Closer.
inner lives. This is my everyday.
Just love me.
Notice me somehow.
You know you want my kitty.
Yeah.
That's where I thought it was coming when you asked that question. But
It was a loaded question. It was loaded. It was. Well, yeah. I mean,
drunk-
because there's glitter everywhere now. God.
The herpes.
I glitter very
Yeah.
early.
Okay, so Miley Cyrus versus the cat. Having a tough decision with that. I mean, I feel like numbers are definitely on your side. That's very
But
true.
if you turn into water, I'm just going to drink
Also,
you.
the cat is drunk. So, like, I mean, that kind of takes away a little bit in the fact that, I mean, it's cute, but it's got worse reflexes. All
You think that, but cats actually get stronger when they're drunk.
right, we're going to add one more card to both of them.
Wow.
Oh.
The drunk one was random. I was just going to have a cat that shoots
All right.
glitter, and I thought that was already pretty good. Choose your fate.
All right.
Don't stick it to your forehead. Why must you stick so
All
many
right,
game
what
components
do we
to your
got?
forehead?
What
Not
do we
on the
got?
nips.
Rub his nipple on it.
All right, so you were right. He does have the numbers. That's why I brought my 12 friends, 12 wiener dogs, and I'm walking with me. That's how badass a cat I am. I looked at like 12 different wiener dogs, and they were just like,
Oh my
yes,
God.
mistress. So now I just run a small
Yes,
army of
mistress.
wiener dogs. Not only are they
Do they-
long, they're strong.
Do they follow you
Long and
around
strong.
because you shoot glitter all over?
Oh,
They just
yeah.
don't want to get shot with glitter.
Yeah.
That's why they're falling.
Dogs love to eat cat poop, too.
Yeah.
That's true.
But we are like totally also piloting an attack drone. So
Those are actually
Okay.
kind of small, actually. Actually, they're very tiny. So you're in one, or you're just piloting it?
piloting it.
Well, then you're probably distracted looking at your little computer screen while my cat shoots glitter all over you and sends its wiener dogs to attack. Totally.
And so this is the basis of the game.
This is the basis of the game. Now I have
Wow,
to
now I
choose
know
who
why I play
wins
miniatures.
here. This is a party
this is a
game.
good reason.
This
Party
definitely
game.
needs moonshine for this
Yeah.
one. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
It totally brings the girls to the table. It doesn't.
Oh,
Although I really like the reference of wiener dogs visiting the cat
no,
that
not
shootes
visiting.
glitter.
She's walking 12 wiener dogs, like just on the side.
it's our
Right.
entourage.
Yeah.
So the pussycat with the 12 wiener dogs. Yeah. Although that's a very interesting image to have. I'm going to have to go with Miley Cyrus because
I will cut you.
attack drones. She has attack drones.
Attack drone. And she's got
Drone,
monkeys
one.
controlling
Whatever.
it.
And she has monkeys.
Controlling an attack drone. That seems bad.
Hey, bad for you.
And she,
Also,
she turns
Profit-
into water stuff on accident.
I
She
Profit
just becomes like,
rubbed his cards on his nipples. What are you doing?
oh, we are
Step
in
it
a
up,
public
bro.
place. I mean, if you want helicopter dick, I will. To impress a chick. Helicopter.
So I
would
Profit
like-
wins today.
Hooray! You win.
Yeah!
Stop.
Honorable mentions for tonight.
I'm sorry.
Make sure to check us out on Favorite Game Friday on Epic Gaming Night.
If this
on
is your
Instagram.
last time listening to our show, I fully understand. Remember the reason why it all went downhill? It was Tim.
I'll take the blame. I got big
No.
shoulders for it.
Also, we have our new show, Mystery Dungeon 1000. Make sure to check that out. It's the same thing with our podcast and everything. We post it on our website, Stitcher, iTunes. Go on there, check us out. Leave us lots of awesome reviews. And Tim, go ahead and give your information to the listeners.
Like bank account, social,
Yeah.
height, weight.
If you want to check out any of my painting, it's what was my
Oh my God. It was your name, I'm pretty sure. It's like Tim TJ.
Tim TJ Kulinski.
We'll have it on the website. Yeah,
it'll be on the website.
That's the best place to get to you is on Twitter.
You can hold me there.
There's not many Tims with skis at the end. I'm sure you'll find it.
You'll find it. It's
like
also,
I said, one of my
Cursed Treasures
14
at
followers.
blogspot.com is my
Chris
gaming.
Treasures?
Cursed
Treasures. Okay.
Not Chris. Jeez, he's not a porn
Cursed.
star.
Sorry.
Cursed.
Chris Treasures. Open my box to find out what's inside. It's my dick in a box.
Wow.
I reference to every Lonely Island.
Yeah.
That's
It's
sad.
not gay if it's in a three-way. Oh, sorry.
So yeah, Cursed Treasures.
Okay.
Those are good. Or on Twitter.
Well, thanks so much for
thanks for
coming
having
down
me.
here today. And anybody else want to say anything before we leave?
No.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
All right.
I regret nothing.
This has been a GloryHoundd production in association with Abnormal Entertainment. For more shows, game news, and amazing adventures, follow us at gloryhound.com, at GloryHoundd on Twitter, or In Glory We Trust on Facebook.
You're beginning to annoy me. But now you're beginning to annoy me. So get out before I throw you out. Now you're beginning to annoy me. Get out. Get out. Get out. So get out before I throw you out. But now you're beginning to annoy me. So get out before I throw you out.
Head to abnormalentertainment.com for all of our podcasts and blogs. Go to cinemaheadcheese.com for our movie reviews and news. Don't forget our YouTube channels, Abnormal Podcast and Cinema Head Cheese. Get us on Twitter, @AbnormalPodcast, and find all of our shows and Abnormal Entertainment on Facebook.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.
There is nothing like watching a movie on the big screen, and with Movie Pass, you can see unlimited movies every month from Abnormal Entertainment. Head to abnormalentertainment.com and click on the Movie Pass banner to get your first month free. And after that, it's only $30 a month to see unlimited movies, even on opening day. Go as many times as you want. Have a blast with Movie Pass and abnormalentertainment.com.